Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you our varsity students. Now we have a drawing for you. This is another student door prize. It's a 3.5-inch LCD digital photo frame. Natalia Piper from U.S. Virgin Islands. Right here. Oh, man. Okay. Abby from Idaho. While our judges are completing the scoring for the varsity students, and while we wait for that, I would like to introduce to you some very special people in our audience this afternoon. Would you please welcome again all of the members of the United States Academic Decathlon Board of Directors, and I'd like them to stand, please. And be recognized. We would also like to recognize all USAD state directors who are with us this afternoon. Would you please stand? Another group of individuals I would like for you to meet are the linchpins of our organization, and that's the coaches of the participating high schools in the USAD. They truly give hours to these young people to motivate them, to keep them focused, to keep them on track, to help them make good decisions, and to produce the leaders of our future. Maybe we need to give them another hand. The second round of speeches will be presented by the high-scoring scholastic students, and that round will begin now. Our first speaker in this category is from the state of New Mexico. Please welcome Lucas Garcia from St. Pius X High School. Lucas.
Not used to so much green. I'm a careful person. I don't play contact sports. I usually don't wrestle my brothers, and I always floss after brushing. I try to avoid taking risks, or at least I used to. What really changed my mind about taking risks was learning to drive. Driving, as I'm sure all of you know, is risky and dangerous behavior. It requires constant attention, good reflexes, and a clear mind. Otherwise, a driver could swerve, hit other cars, people, or even buildings. Just being on the road with another driver is risky in itself. Even if a driver does everything right, there's a very likely chance that the other drivers on the road won't. So that's why I walked apprehensively into my first driver's ed class. I sat down on the rickety old chair with questions flowing through my mind. Questions like, what's going to happen to me? Will someone hit me? Will a dinosaur fall from the sky so it hits my car? Questions like that. The teacher came in, shut the door, turned off the lights, turned on the TV, and said, so who wants to watch Blood and Asphalt 4? After watching Blood and Asphalt 4, I was terrified. I was ready to climb under my bed and never touch a car again. I gibbered to my father about how I would never, ever drive. But he stopped me, looked me straight in the eye, and gave me the ultimatum. You will learn to drive, because I am done driving you around. So I walked back, my fingers trembling, into my second driver's ed class. Now it didn't matter much to me right then and there, but I realized later that if I had not taken the choice, made the choice to participate in this risky behavior, driving, that I would probably be sitting at home, twiddling my thumbs right now. Everything I care about, everything that's dear to me besides my family, requires that I drive a car. Risk is an integral part of life. And that's when it dawned on me that you can't go through life without taking risks. Risks propel history forward and make legends out of men. Men like Martin Luther King Jr., Abraham Lincoln, Malcolm X, Martin Luther. All these men were not legendary in and of themselves, but they took risks and made choices for the cause they believed in. And now, they're legends. Take Gandhi, for example. Gandhi's risk was liberating India, not because India was incapable of self-government, because in fact India was two Indias. The Hindus and the Muslims that lived in India did not exist peacefully, and more often than not, violence erupted between them. They were united against the British, but only just. If Gandhi liberated Britain, would his new India tear herself apart? That was the risk he took. But no less legendary and always unsung are the risks that everyday people make. Buying a car, applying for a loan, buying a house, and in my opinion, the greatest risk a human being can ever take, choosing to have a child, to start a family. Because when a parent holds their child in their arms, they hold the future. They hold every possibility in the world. That's the greatest risk that any human being can take, because it's a huge responsibility. After learning all this, I start to wonder, if life is so risky, why do people bother living at all? And that's when the words of Leo F. Buscaglia, former professor at the University of Southern California and the author of the book Love, came back to me. He said, "The man who risks nothing is nothing, has nothing, does nothing, and becomes nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he simply cannot learn, grow, change, love, or live." Thank you.